Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are returning. Let me adjust this. Okay. Yes, welcome back if you're returning. So I am Chanel and this is Housewife Hoodoo. For those of you who have been subscribers here, you will see that there have been some changes. I have switched up, my handle, my screen name, right? And just showing up more as me and what I do and not trying to blanket it is the best word. Okay, so yes, if you are interested and would like to know more information about me, you can find a link below with everything. My website, you can get to know about me, my services, and how you can support the channel, and also what I offer for free. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. So I hope y'all have been well. We are in summer. We are in Leo season. Happy birthday, Leo. Okay, I'm gonna do a reading for Leo season for all the signs later on. Okay, and post that this week. So today we're going to talk about hoodoo. We're talking about hoodoo in the Black Belt America. And the Black Belt is basically from like Maryland all the way down to Southeast Texas, right? So this is the Maryland to the deep south to the south, right? So this is Virginia and in South and North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Florida, the top part of Florida at least, not all of Florida, okay? Georgia, Alabama, all of those southern states down there, and they consider this the Black Belt because this is where the most fertile soil exists in America. It's black soil, right? So this is where the sugar cane and the rice and the cotton was grown, and everything that really built America to be America, made the trades and the money and everything of that nature. So these areas were also the areas where it was predominantly slave driven, right? So indentured servant driven, and where slaves were brought into, and the people who were already there became slaves out of their land being conquered. Okay, so in these areas, this is where hoodoo became hoodoo, right? Because it is a blend. It's a mix of practices of Aboriginal Native American folk, okay, those who were brought over in slavery, whether that was from Africa, the Caribbean, all of those places, because that exists. The trade happened in not just from there. And it also didn't happen exactly in the way that we were taught in school, but that's another video for another day. We're just focusing on hoodoo and what it is and how it is. So at one point in time, hoodoo was a religion, right? Today, it's not so much. Some people do still consider it to be a religion, right? Because it does have its set of principles. It has its law, I guess we can call it, that it goes by, that it operates on. But more than anything, the religion aspect of it came from melanated black folks in attempt to create I don't want to say a church, but a union, an establishment to gather, to be able to worship, right? To be able to ritualize things. And eventually it turned into where it had to become part of the black church, of the church, which established many different black churches, which again is another video for another day, because that in itself is a whole inner working of what has become of the church for black folks, right? Because the people who were here, who became enslaved, who were brought here and became enslaved, they were not aware of anything in reference to Christianity. You know, Christianity is something that began in North Africa. Okay, so another video for another day. But it was to some part, and not to some part, it was established or brought here and made a thing, right? Christ and God and the Holy Spirit and everything. There have always been different deities, you know, and things manifest, things evolve into what it is that they need to be in order of a means of survival, right? So the gathering of folks allowed people to come together and bring grace to their lives, protection and prosperity, and when things didn't seem like that was really possible for who it is that they were in the space it is that they were in. Okay, so with that, eventually Hoodoo became the more commercial aspect of what it is. Some people call it snake oil salesman kind of thing, you know, with the tricks and the tools and the oils and the candles and everything, because it hasn't always been that. Like, of course, there was gas lamps and candles for lighting because of lack of light, electricity in that time. But eventually, you know, things grow. Things become more of what they are. They evolve to the people who connect to it there, right? And expand into, I guess we could say, something greater, but we can also know that a lot of the fear that comes from what people are so afraid of when it comes to hoodoo, that always existed, but it became more of what that is, that became more predominant as people began to live their lives, right? Because of course there's jealousy, there is a need to protect oneself, there's a need to stay away from people who don't have the best intentions for you, right? Or trying to scheme or scam, you know, the snake oil salesman, right? Trying to make money off of what it is of the product that they offer, right? So that is how you know, what do we call them? The not the curios, sure, because those are tools, items, chicken feet, rabbit's foot, um, rabbit's tail, okay, alligator heads, and things of that nature that were brought forth in order for those things to be fixed and be conjured upon. Now, conjure is not conjure is a form of hoodoo, but you don't need hoodoo to conjure, right? So any belief system can conjure, right? It doesn't matter what it is that you believe in, who you pray to, who you give thanks to, who you set altars to. You don't need that in an ability to conjure. So it doesn't, if you hear that, you should not automatically attune that to that being something of hoodoo. Okay, so going back to it being a religion and everything, it had more to do with the healing aspect of it, the herbs and knowing what the herbs were, right? Because those who came here, who were brought here, were not aware of the plants that were here, so they learned from the natives of what it is. So this is why this practice is a mix of different cultures, different tribes even, right? Because everyone who was, I guess we would call trafficked here, still traded here, they didn't all come from the same, they came from the same place but different tribes. And different tribes, the same as if you go to a different state, has different ways of doing things, even if it's the same thing, right? Somebody in Louisiana gonna make red beans and rice totally different from somebody who make red beans and rice in Chicago, right? That kind of thing. So basically, what I'm getting at is that the the practice of hoodoo was established here. There are, I have learned and read some things that speak about it being a tradition, a religion, a practice of Akan African spirituality. Um, I haven't gotten farther enough into that to give y'all any validity on what that is, and how that offers and plays role in this. But what I do know is that what it is today is still very true, it's very real, still very powerful and very potent, right? It's still in the ability to connect, right? In the ability to connect with oneself, one's power, right? Connect with the spirits that be, the powers that be, the ancestors. And in that, we always want to be sure that that is who we are connecting with first in these practices, because our ancestors, they are our first line of defense. They are the first people. They're kind of like those gatekeepers. They are who we go to in order to reach the greater than, right? It's going to give us that stability, that grounding it is that we need, so we don't find ourselves in position of getting entangled with familiar spirits, right? Spirits that look familiar but aren't necessarily actually who it is that they claim to be, So I think that's all I want to say for this video right now. But yeah, I'm definitely going to share some more in reference to hoodoo in America, being black, and all those things. Share some books with y'all, because there is a lot that is available to be read, right? That can help fill in the pieces that you may be feeling like that are missing. That can make things make sense, but we will do that at a later time. For those who are looking for any type of readings, divination services, I have a live check-in that you can book on the website. I also have a blog now. It's for subscription. It's called Housewife Woo, and I am sharing everything, all things spiritual in the home, and practices to help you support, uplift, and help you thrive in your life from a spiritual perspective. Okay, I'm just sharing all my things. Okay, so and right now, the ancestral veneration class that I gave last year, it's available. I broke that up into pieces because it's really long with a lot of information. But the first part of the ancestral veneration class is up, so definitely check that out, and you can find that again in the description box below. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.